Custom shops, custom shops, custom shops.
Ta-da!
It's we're going to talk about the custom shops of all these places because we were just scheming a minute ago and just talking about, you know, it's weird how, you know, at Fender you have these rock star builders.
Yes.
You know, we have them all from, like, you know, Vincent, Carlos, to Kyle, to Ron, to Todd, John, you know, Chris, Steven, Dale, Paul, Jason, Yuri, Greg. I think I said them all. Is there one left? Kyle. I think I said Kraus. I said Todd, right? I
did.
have
You
a
said
Kraus.
Todd. You said
okay.
Todd.
But I mean, in Fessler, I didn't say Greg. I mean, I always say their last names. Like that's how I remember them. I was sort of looking at the first names. I was like, it's confusing. I can't say Yuri's last name though. It's just a nightmare. Shishikov, I think. I don't.
Sure.
I don't know.
I can't say.
Anyway,
yeah.
they have this cult of the rock stars there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, like what you know, when you want to get a Gibson, there's no name.
There's no name.
There's Tom Murphy.
There's the Tom Murphy Lab.
The Tom Murphy Lab, that is now a new thing, which is awesome. We love Tom Murphy's. You go over to Martin, and like the thing that I was we were talking about Martin.
Yep.
You get a Martin custom shop. There is a Martin custom shop. It's definitely specific to the custom shop of there, and I've been to the factory. It's amazing.
Just got a fantastic one.
It's amazing.
The one we have now is like, it's stupid how good. Oh, it's so pretty.
It's frustrating.
Anyways.
Yeah, but there's no master builder of Martin or Gibson or PRS. So like we were like, and so we've been to the PRS factory, and I think multiple times or once or twice or three, I don't remember. But it's there's no like, you know, besides Trampus, Sir Trampus, who the color Trampus green is named after a guy that works there and came up with that color. It's really cool. He's super tall and like really nice guy. Cool long hair too. But anyway, so we were finding it fascinating talking about the different custom shops and like what is their purpose. Yeah. To have like the rock star builders here, not the rock star builders there.
Right.
And so to go down that road and so I mean
Fender seems fairly unique in that, right? That they're like, you know, if you go Masterbuilt, you know who's building your guitar. They're sort of, it's not the same as Fender, but they're branded, you know, like it is a Todd Kraus. You know, like, oh, this is a Fender Telecaster, but it's a Todd Kraus.
And so like just to the layman's, like if you're ordering a Fender custom shop, you have Team Built and you have Masterbuilt. Yes. They're both phenomenal. I own multiples each. Masterbuilt, you actually end up having conversations, multiple ones, often weekly, often daily, towards your build at the time when it's actually happening with the builder. Sometimes not much, depending on how much or little you want to, which is a level of service that I think is off the charts.
It's amazing.
You can truly do anything you want there, and then they are really working feedback with you to get it. Now, I think it's just sort of fascinating that they're the only really major player that does that. Now, if you get to some of the boutique guys like Tom Anderson's, you get to have a lot of interaction with them as well.
Sure.
But during the build, not so much. It's like, you know, once you spec out your guitar, you order it. They're not going to sit there and take photos of the wood blanks and send it to you. And hey, here's the neck. They're going to build a guitar. It goes into a slot, and it's customized, but it's different. Yeah. Same with Sir, and Nash as well. Like, you know, it's just they don't have time for that.
And he doesn't really. He kind of you can order stuff with him through a dealer.
Right.
But you can't really specify things that he doesn't do. Like here's what he does.
And then so you pretty much, the moon is your oyster at Fender. Like you can have like the worst things put on your guitar and you will pay for it. You can have a picture of your child painted with NSYNC or something and they will do it.
If you want it.
We've seen some strange ones. Now with Gibson Custom Shop, there is no like group of rock star builders except for the entire team.
Right.
But they're not given names.
Right.
And I think that kind of connects with Martin in the same way. Is like they're trying to say, hey, this guitar is from Martin.
Right.
This guitar is from the Gibson Custom Shop. It is all inclusively awesome and badass.
Yeah.
That is sort of like the impression I got from Martin, at least from being at the factory and talking.
I think that's fair.
With them. But now Gibson does have Tom Murphy.
They do.
And he is running they've had him before, but now he's officially under the Gibson umbrella. And he runs the entire sort of super historically accurate, relic age, sometimes NOS sort of department.
And even with that though, I feel like they're doing obviously amazing work and amazing, the relics, but it's not like you can say, it doesn't feel like, you can say, hey, I would like to have my family initials in this color over this color, and
or I would like to
this
have
neck.
that neck, but I want you to carve off a little bit. They don't do it in the same way.
Yeah.
Like you don't. It is a custom shop. They build these masterpieces. Like
they're amazing.
Have one come to the shop, and I want to keep it desperately, but no one will let me. God, it's really good. It's like greening and gold and checking.
It is really good.
It's just frustrating how good it sounds and plays. But you can't specify to that level of detail as much. It's a different sort of setup. Yeah. Then we jump over to, who is the other guy? Not PRS, but I guess Martin. Yeah, let's talk about Martin specifically right there. You can pretty much have the Moon and Martin too.
They'll do, insane inlay stuff and carvings. Yeah,
you can, whatever your wallet will allow, they can figure it out somehow. And the guys at the custom shop and the girls, when I'm talking about the two guys that you sort of talk to on the phone, are unbelievable dudes. Like, if you ever want to build a custom shop, like, contact your dealer that you love, and you will probably end up talking with these guys there at the custom shop as well. They are guitar nuts. I'm not going to say their names right now in case they don't want their names out there. There's two guys. You will meet them if you get a Martin custom shop. Awesome, and they can walk you through anything.
Right.
That in your dealer it's like a hand in hand. It's a fun journey. It's not just like, hey, here's your menu, order, and you're done. Which is a little bit more like Taylor's, I guess.
Taylor seems to be just a la carte.
It was called the BTO, the build to order, a la carte, exactly. It's like what's that Mexican restaurant, the Chipotle or whatever, where you go and or the Moe's. I want this. But it's like there's a menu and you can pick what you want on it, and they have their group of guys that build these, and it comes in a special place of the factory. But you cannot just like, hey, I want to have my initials etched in the 12th fret, or I want to have another armrest put here. They're very protective of, I think, their brand identity, and which is, I respect that, but also their time.
Yes,
they're not going to put the time, even though it's a very expensive guitar. Right. They have things called build slots, and
it's a finite number.
And if it's taking too long to create this build slot, they can't do it. I think is part of the issue.
Makes sense.
And it's just a different operation. The CNC level that they have there and the perfection, it's just they have to keep moving. Now let's jump over to PRS. There's when Derek and I went to the factory, which is an amazing experience. Go to the factory if you're anywhere near Stevensville. Ask for Clay. He's the most fun guy to go out and have a drink with before. Tell him he'll take you down to this cool restaurant down by the coast. If he's watching this, thanks, Clay. I'm remembering this night very well. Most of the night I remember. But no, the factory's amazing. Everyone's working there seems to be really happy, which is weird for a factory.
A little weird.
Like most factories are pretty happy now, but this one, it was just fun. It was a good group of people. Super, they're like sanding guitars. There's so much handwork. And then you get to the private stock, and it's a small little section. And that's sort of I consider Paul Reed Smith every guitar custom shop in a weird way.
I think that's true.
I think once you've entered a PRS core model or even a like CE, you're in the custom shop world. In Silver Sky as well, it's like it's built within the same lab, I'm going to call it. So you've entered this custom, but then you private stock, you sort of like enter the stratosphere, their sort of master build world. Now they don't have any rock star master builders that you know the names of.
Yeah.
It's no one's gonna you don't have Ron Thorne building your PRS next to a McLaren, or Todd Krause hanging out with Eric Clapton and building all Keith Richards guitars hanging out. But you do have a pretty well-known guitar player at PRS do your final assembly test and play through.
Huh.
You know who that is?
Could his initials be PRS?
Yes, Sir Paul Reed Smith actually plays every guitar that comes out of the private. Most people don't know that. Some of the PRS diehards do, but it's pretty amazing.
I think Paul could just sit then and play private stocks all day. I bet he has hours.
No, he doesn't have much time. I think he is.
But it's got to be a fair undertaking for him.
They don't produce that many private stocks. It's slow. You order one, your average wait time for a core is about a year.
Yeah.
If you order a private stock, you're in the queue for a bit, and you could be 3 years out depending on the wood selections. It just hopefully not, but
it's possible.
Yeah, go to Chicago Music Exchange and look at how they have some of their pre-done orders. You'll see wood blanks and blocks of necks and hey, buy this guitar for $12,000. You're like, wait, those are just wood blocks. But this guitar we built.
But in a few years, it'll be great.
Hopefully 7 months now. They get a pretty good velocity because they build a lot of guitars.
Yes, they should.
But no, Sir Paul Reed Smith plays your guitar,
which is pretty cool.
And most people don't know he's a pretty darn good guitar player too. So he gets to noodle on it, give it the thumbs up or the dreaded gladiator thumbs down, and off with its head. the guitar goes back to the drawing boards, and it's either destroyed or tooled enough to where it can be passed his approval. But I think if anybody has a fine-tuned ear,
it's that guy,
and obsessive compulsive personality, it's that dude. And that's who you want on your final playthrough. Not I was like, man, I don't care if it's intonated. This is cool.
Wonderful.
All right, and what's intonation? I think that's all
it's buzzy right there. Just don't play right there. It's fine.
Who needs the 14th fret, really? Just kidding, sort of. But no, and that's what kind of what we think it's fascinating how each custom shop, private stock, build to order, master builds, like how each one is completely different, and like they came out of the same lineage,
right,
of guitar building. Like these guitar companies have all launched from sort of the same areas. Even PRS, the newest of all these, in in the 80s, it's the same idea, and there's tons of CNC and tons of machine work, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of handwork on these pieces, especially when you enter the private stock and the custom shop. It's somewhat shocking. Martin was outstanding to see that done, to watch them hand carving necks after the CNC happens first. And
sure,
they're all different slightly.
Right.
Custom shop at Fender, outstandingly different. You can order 1056V,
and
it's like you can specify like large or small 1056V, but they're different
because they're done by hand.
And when you talk to the master building at the custom shop, it's amazing. When you do a private stock at PRS, it's also amazing. And the best part of private stock at PRS, you can go there and go into this like vault with your dealer. You have to go with the dealer. You just can't go as like, hey, I'm John. I'm going in.
I'm here for my private stock.
Like, who are you, sir? Yes. But you go in this like special room where like, it feels like you're the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or something, or the Kingsmen. That's what I'm thinking. It feels like that. And they have all these like wood blanks of like these crazy exotic woods, and you can put them all together. And
wow. And
then they tell you how much it's going to cost. Like, God, let's put this one back, because I built one and it was like $12,500. Like, let's just maybe, can you take this one? And I couldn't. Yeah. But it's an amazing experience. I highly, if you're on the fence about it, do it now. It's super fun. The guys there are awesome. The girls there are awesome. Fender Custom Shop, it's like you're hanging out with your best friends as well. Like it's just a bunch of dudes with tattoos and a few girls, and there's like you're going to talk about like guitars, fast cars, and beer, and you're going to build and you're going to have a great time. And they have a cool build room there too. You can go with your dealer. Great experiences that they built in for the end user and for us just to have a lot of fun.
Which is kind of awesome.
So let us know your experiences with each of these custom shops, private stocks, build to orders, all the boutique builders, your experience with that too. We have customers that deal with those, and we get to hear about them, and they've had great experiences. We would love to hear what you think.
Yeah, and love to hear your thoughts. And do you like the idea of like at Fender knowing the name of the guy who's built your guitar or the gal, or like you do with boutique builders, or do you like it where you're buying a Martin or a Gibson? Be interesting to know. It
is interesting. Like, I mean, one last point, like one of the guys that did it, like, I mean, they were exchanging family photos with their master builder. Like, that's how much they became friends. And this guy's one guy's on like the East Coast, California is where Fender's built. It's pretty neat. Like when you enter this world, doesn't become just a business transaction. Right. It can become something much more. I get excited. I get passionate about this. I'm gonna pat my chest, but not the microphone.
But not the microphone.
Derek gets very angry.
It's true. We do that sometimes.
Whispering now. I don't know. Okay.
Click like and subscribe. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Hit the bell so you don't miss videos in the future. We'll see you next time.